What's going on, guys? I'm gonna warn you, this is gonna be a long ass video. To say the very least, it's gonna be last night's Raw, this week's Friday, or this week's Tuesday night, live Smackdown Christmas in November special. But before we get to any of that, any of you who've been with this channel for a long time know, around Halloween time, I mentioned to you guys it was my goal to reach my first 100 subscribers by Christmas. Now, you know, I've gotten a lot of support from a lot of people. I get a lot of, you know, smatterings of feedback from people here and there, but immediately after saying that, Kid of Wrestling, my buddy Tom there, Kid of Wrestling, the KOW show, immediately messaged me back and he says, you're going to make 100 subs by Christmas or before, no problem at all. And that was awesome. So guys, go check out Tom, Kid of Wrestling, you know, youtube.com/user/Kid of Wrestling. Immediately just said, yeah, you're going to make 100 subs by Christmas. Not even a question. Now, last week, yes, I'm very, very behind. Last week I checked my email, and at about 5:27 a.m. on Thursday, I got the email message that told me that I had reached my 100th sub, and I'm not getting a text right now because I'm doing a video. Yes, I am. Now, I want to tell you guys something, and I've harped on my first 100 subs, and I might sound a little hypocritical because when I started this channel, I said I wasn't ever really going to care about the subs. If there was 20 of you, if there was 20,000 of you, as long as you guys enjoyed what I did, I was going to be happy doing it. But in the back of my mind, 100 was the target. If I can get 100 subs, I'm a happy guy. If I get 100 subs, yeah, a lot of other people on here have like 500, 700, 1,000, 2,000, and they have it because they've worked their asses off and they have it because they've deserved it. But 100 subs doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about it, that's 100 people around the world who have said, as soon as Spaz puts out a video, I want to know about it. That's 100 people. I'm sitting here in Canada, and I know that at least a good half of my subscribers are in the UK. That blows my mind. I'm not even going to lie. I've got, you know, fans in Ireland, fans in the UK, fans in all over the States, and, you know, other places I don't even know about. If you are even farther away than that, please let me know in the bottom in the box, because it's really, really an amazing thing to me that you guys want to know what I have to say. It's flattering. It's silencing almost. But if I could get to 100 subs, that would be a tremendous accomplishment for me. Now, Pacifist299, the Bone Duster, not one of the more popular people on YouTube, especially people that are firmly entrenched over in the Preston posse over there. And as he said, he and I are definitely unique students of Preston's preachings, are we not? Funny fucker. Funny fucker. Not only does he have the prestige of being my 100th sub, he also put out a tremendously flattering, tremendously respectful response video to the last video I did, my Hope, Pride, and Wrestling fandom video. On a side note, if you guys haven't checked that out, please go back one video on this account. I really want to get more people's opinions on that video. Fuck off! It's not Raw. You're not the Raw general manager. You were replaced by John Laurinaitis. Shut up. Anyways, so yeah, Pacifist299, 100th subscriber, showed me a tremendous amount of respect in a short period of time. Really, really appreciate it. So yeah, guys, unless you're, like I say, unless you're firmly in the Preston camp, go check him out. Funny fucker. Other people that definitely need a shout out though. You guys always know I have prayed and I have begged you guys for feedback. And really, it comes down to 4 names in terms of people that actually give me feedback. There's Joe Shy Guy and YFE Outlaw, who are the ones that comment the most on every single video I've done, at least in the past year. The first couple of months I had this channel, nobody gave me feedback on anything, I'm not going to lie. doesn't really surprise me, though. If I go back to the videos when I first started this channel, some of them were ridiculous. John of Beer Money 2K, the Shawn Michaels of that duo, has only gotten in touch with me in the past little while and hasn't responded on every vid, but when he does, he writes me a fucking novel. Which some people might say, oh my god, how can you read all that? But I think it's, like I say, I can't say the word, flattering too much. I can't say, humbling too much. I do a video for 15 minutes, you spend the next 20 writing me a novel in response. That's fucking tremendous. Another one going right alongside John is Deluxe Man. Again, not a constant commenter on my videos, but when he does, not only can we get into a spirited debate about a few things, but always, always, always respectful. Unlike some people. Could not go without mentioning some of the lovely ladies of the YWC. Heather over at Nutty Rock Chick, Dee and Kristen of the Black Cat Feline, and Hannah Banana Bob. Hannah Banana Bob, go check her out. I don't think nearly enough people go and watch her. If you can turn your ears up to high speed and keep up with her, she is very... I don't think people give her the credit she deserves, because she should have twice as many subs as she has now, at least. Other people, not necessarily people that I interact with a lot, but other people that make the YWC definitely a worthwhile place to be. WJ, another controversial guy like the Pacifist. He's gone through a couple different account names right now, resting at WJ Vlogs. The wrestling shooter formerly known as King Spinnernet 1, now known as King Mania, and WJ's buddy Andy over at Andy's Truth. Definitely, if you guys haven't done it already, channels worth figuring out and finding and making part of your daily YouTube routine if you have one, like I do, or you take a lot of long bus trips, like I do. Anyways, so after all that ramble, I'm going to say to all of you, whether you love me, whether you hate me, however you make me famous, cheers to all of you. Thank you, all of you, even the haters. Because, I could be really, really lame and, haters make me famous too. But, that's it. I think we're now sitting at 104, actually. So that's tremendous. And I've rambled on about my 100th sub for 8 minutes now. So, let's get to the Raw review. We go into the Raw this week, knowing that we're going to see Alberto Del Rio versus Punk in a rematch for the WWE Championship. But does the Raw not start off with Piper's Pit? Piper's Pit, more or less, Piper calling out Cena, saying everything that we've been saying about Cena for the past, couple of years or so. WWE's made you a bitch. WWE's made you a yes man. WWE has made you this little pussy who takes the fans' cheers when you can and takes the fans' boos when that's all you can get. You need to get a set of balls, more or less. You need to tell these fans what you think of them, like I did when I was back in my heyday, etc., etc., etc. Use the positive energy and admit the negative energy. It's a great opening segment. If you guys haven't seen it, didn't catch Raw this week, go on YouTube. Just find the Piper's Pit opening segment. Take a couple of minutes. See that Piper can hold a mic. CM Punk is the promo guy of our generation, but CM Punk is basically taking that torch from guys like Piper and Flair. Sits there and basically said, they don't respect you. They wanted you to get rock bottomed at Survivor Series. They wanted to cheer boots to asses. Then he does word association and shouts out names like Austin and Hart and Rock. And then Cena gets booed out of the buildings. And Cena responds like he always does with kissing the fans' asses. Piper tells him, you are the face. The boos are getting louder. You are losing it, and you need to tell them off. You're a loser. And he said, basically, he's saying you need to vent and you need to tell these people to go fuck themselves if they're not on your side, and you're not, and that's why nobody respects you, and you're going to be a loser at WrestleMania if this continues. Cena kills the entire segment by walking out. That's the end of that. Flashback to last week and Miz jumping R-Truth after Cena, planted the seeds of dissension between Awesome Truth. And we have Miz and Morrison, which for all intents and purposes, as far as everybody's concerned, is Morrison's last match. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match. So Morrison, coming down to the ring, gets jumped by Miz with a pipe, with a vengeance, and Miz goes fucking nuts on this guy's knee. Miz stands in the ring, you know, expecting that he's not even going to get a match. John Morrison comes to the ring anyway. Comes in and throws him for a guy on one leg, throws Miz a decent match. It's not a squash like I think everybody thought it would be. They work their way up the rampway, and Morrison comes at the Miz. Miz sidesteps him, and Morrison eats the side of the WWE logo that sits on the stageway there. He doesn't just eat it. He doesn't just run his face into it. If you can picture sort of the swoosh at the bottom of the W, he hits the point of that swoosh with his face, and then on top of that takes a skull-crushing finale on the metal stage. Interesting point about this. Falls Count Anywhere match, no rules, whatever. Morrison's out. The ref calls Miz the winner, but won't let him pin Morrison. It was a really, really awkward spot, and I don't know whether that was a botch by the referee or what, but the awkward last few moments of that match just, I don't know. The match was great. If this is Morrison's last match, then salvo to Morrison, and we'll see you when you get the TNA. Bellas versus Kelly and Alicia. The only entertaining thing about this match was the Divas of Doom in their workout attire taking a jog around the ring and leaving again. Kelly and Alicia Fox, of course, win because Kelly is Mrs. Cena. Moving on! We get, for no particular reason, a Sheamus video package. And I say for no particular reason, but I don't mind. Because like I've always said, WWE is wicked with their promotional packages, with their lead-up packages, with their videography, if you want to call it that. John Laurinaitis on the cell phone with Brodus Clay again. Otunga asks him why he keeps delaying the debut of Brodus Clay. He says, "Oh well, he's a monster. He needs to get pissed off, and when he comes in, and he'll be a bigger monster." And it's just like, okay, that's a really lame excuse. Apparently, and this is only according to dirt sheets, apparently Morrison's last match was supposed to be against Brodus Clay, which would have been really, really lame. Alberto Del Rio comes in, a little bit of confrontation with John Laurinaitis. John Laurinaitis tries to give him a pep talk, tries to, get him ramped up for his match against Punk tonight so he can hopefully get his title back. Punk comes in, basically drops pipe bombs on all of them, and says the WWE Championship isn't going anywhere, which is awesome. With Barrett at ringside, we have Orton versus Ziggler. And it's one of those matches, guys. Again, I know this is happening a lot, especially with Ziggler matches. I couldn't even write anything down for this match. Orton, as much as people don't give him credit for it, Orton sells the shit out of Ziggler. He's doing the same thing for Ziggler in this match that he's been doing for Cody Rhodes for weeks and weeks and months. And it's just going in there with the mission of making the guy he's in the ring with look good. And I don't think Orton gets nearly enough credit for that. But this match is gold. Orton is still awesome. Orton is the all-around package guy. As much as Cena doesn't need a WWE Championship anymore, I don't think Orton really does either. Not that I want to see us get rid of Orton anytime soon, but he doesn't need a belt anymore. He just is what he is. Ziggler needs to drop the U.S. title to Ryder so he can get back in that title hunt. That's all that this match proved. Okay. Sorry, guys, I got a little bit of a cold coming on, so if I sound a bit gross, I apologize. Cole interviews Bryan in the middle of the ring, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be horrible. Tells him he's a hypocrite, this and that, for trying to cash in his money in the bank. Bryan balls up. I love this. Balls up, gets a little bit of passion in his voice, tells Cole why he did what he did, this, that, and the next thing. Mark Henry comes out like a 400-pound bitch and bitches about being hurt. Bryan cheap shots Mark Henry on the way out of the arena. Says, see you tomorrow at the special Smackdown thing where I'm going to take your title. Swagger versus Ryder. Ryder continues to be awesome. Swagger continues to be the vanilla gorilla who's awkward as fuck and isn't really useful for anything. And Ryder wins. Thank God, because, Ryder or Riot. Oh, yes. We have the continuation of the wicked, returning Kane promos with the flames and the matches and the mask and the, the hazy imagery of Kane's face. And it's like, okay, don't be hazy. We know it's Kane. Tell us Kane's coming back and that'll be it. We have Mick Foley come out with a Holliday poem, more or less advertising the Smackdown that we had tonight. It's awesome. Mick Foley can have a microphone anytime as far as I'm concerned. And then we had Alberto Del Rio versus Punk. Punk holds on to the belt in another great match, just like their match at Survivor Series was. I did like the fact that they did the Eddie Guerrero Phantom Chair Shot spot. I thought that was a good little tribute there to Eddie Guerrero. CM Punk is really, really good with paying tribute to other guys. I know when he was down in Mexico it wasn't televised, but he gave a lot of credit to Eddie Guerrero. Especially after Savage passed away, when he does the Savage elbow drop, he does the pose and that sort of thing. It's not the main reason I like Punk. The main reason I like Punk is because he's awesome and he's great on the mic and he's great in the ring. But it's another one of those minor things that I really like about Punk. He definitely will pay 110% tribute to everybody that came before him and everybody that deserves the credit. Now, scores, fails, and MVPs for Raw. Oh my god, I'm running out of time. Piper's Pit pulls out Cena's bitch card. That's all I'm going to say about that. Miz is on the rise once again. Miz losing R-Truth as his awesome truth partner, sending his long-lost tag team partner John Morrison out of the company, if that's the case. Definitely will be back in the title picture sooner rather than later. Oh, yes. Yes, he will. Wade Barrett, just generically on commentary during Orton's match, was great. I would rather see Wade Barrett on commentary than in the ring. I'm not going to lie. But he put over Orton huge while he was talking about him. He didn't, oh my god, that guy sucks, I can whip the floor with him any day. No, he came at it from the mentality of, no, I want to get somewhere in this company. If I want to get somewhere in this company, I got to go over a champion, a former multi-time champion and world-renowned superstar like Randy Orton. And I like that. I like the respect of that. Great win for Dolph Ziggler tonight over Randy Orton. He doesn't really need it necessarily, but it doesn't hurt either, because while he's a winner in the main event scene, he's been booked weak in the mid-card scene to preempt to... how the hell do I say what I want to say here? In main event situations, Ziggler is booked strong because he's going to be the next world champion eventually. But in mid-card situations, he's booked weak because Ryder's going to be the U.S. champion soon, and the contradiction to that makes Ziggler's character really interesting. And I just said in my last score here, Daniel Bryan gets a personality. Daniel Bryan picked up the mic and ran with it tonight against Cole, against Mark Henry, and it was a good thing to see, because maybe if he can develop a personality, we won't have to worry about him totally, flopping in the main event scene. Fail. Morrison on his way out. That sucks. I'm a Morrison fan. I don't want to see him go, backstage bullshit, Melina, Trish Stratus bullshit. And quite frankly, I don't think WWE knows how to use them. They don't have an X division. They don't have a lightweight, high flyer division, even though they've got, Sin Cara and Hunico and Epico and Primo and all those guys now, and Mysterio will come back eventually. But there's really no place for Morrison, even if the backstage bullshit wasn't there. So that's sad. Like I said before, the ending to the Miz Morrison match, where it's supposed to be a no DQ match, a false count anywhere match, but Morrison's out and the ref won't let Miz get the pin. I thought that was incredibly awkward, and I'm really hoping it was a botch, because if it wasn't a botch, it doesn't make any sense at all. Mick Foley coming out as Santa in November. That's all. MVP of tonight, because he is on the rise, even with the botched ending, Miz. Miz has got to be back in that title hunt soon. It has to happen. It has to. That's it. That was it for Raw. And there's paper all over my floor. Smackdown started tonight with Santa Foley coming out, talking about being a Christmas fanatic, talking about Bryan and Henry in their World Heavyweight Championship cage match tonight. introduces Michael Cole to the announce position in his reindeer outfit, and Michael Cole, to his credit, plays up being entirely unimpressed to a T. Booker T is introduced as Santa and even asked into the ring to do a Santa-Rooney, which I thought was great. Interrupted by Cody Rhodes, of course, mocking Booker T, and keeps referring to Booker T as the announcer. Hello Booker T, you announcer. Hello you washed up former champion announcer, da-da-da-da-da. Foley says Rhodes and Booker T is going to happen tonight. Everybody gets excited about that. Diva Mistletoe on a pole match was lame. Brie Bella wins. She doesn't win a women's championship match. She wins the chance to kiss whoever she wants between now and Christmas. Which is, nothing. Justin Gabriel versus Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal dominates this entire match until DiBiase comes dressed up like Santa into the crowd, handing out presents, etc., 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 distracts Jinder Mahal. Gabriel hits a nice-looking STO, which I don't think I've seen him use before. If I'm wrong, correct me down in the box below. Hits that awesome 450 splash that he does, and Gabriel gets a much-needed win. We flash to the back, and we see Foley's Christmas party. We've got Foley with the Usos trying to learn how to do the Uso, battle cry dance thing that they do. I don't remember what it's called, I'm not going to lie. You got Piper in the back there. You got Hornswaggle in the back. You got Dusty Rhodes and Goldust in the back. You got Otunga that tries to shut down the party because he's worried about the legal ramifications of it, and John Laurinaitis is worried about the legal ramifications of it, which is lame. Instead, Mick Foley says, if you're here, you're considered talent, and I can put you in a match tonight. You're going to be in the Miracle on 34th Street fight against Randy Orton later tonight. Yeah, awesome. We have a lame commercial for TLC. Basically, it's friggin' David Otunga looking like he's trying to eyeball fuck the camera or seduce us through our televisions, and neither one of those is cool. It's very, very beyond borderline creepy. But, they redeem themselves with another Kane comeback promo, and the Kane comeback promos are awesome, so that's fun. Maybe Kane is going to come to TLC and find David Otunga, because he's super creepy, and chokeslam him or set him on fire or something like that. But whatever. We flash to the back where Booker T is being interviewed by Matt Striker, and he is jumped, of course, by Cody Rhodes before they can have their match. Next match up is Kofi Kingston versus Tyson Kidd, and as they're coming out for this match, it's announced that the Booker T Cody Rhodes match has been cancelled due to Booker T being jumped in the back and sustaining injuries, etc., etc., etc. I was really, really happy to see Tyson Kidd on SmackDown. Anytime I see Tyson Kidd on SmackDown or Raw, it gives me a lot of hope, because if he's relegated to Superstars forever, forget it. That's a waste of talent, and he should go somewhere else. But he puts out a great showing. Kofi Kingston, for some reason, steps out of the ring in the middle of the match to go to the announce table and mock Michael Cole and tell him he looks like an idiot and whatever. Steals the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer head and nose from Michael Cole and puts them on himself before he delivers a half-ass crossbody and pins Tyson Kidd. Great match, silly ending. Tyson Kidd could have picked up a nice little win here and progressed himself quite nicely on the second-rate WWE program on the television schedule, but they did not choose to do that, and that's kind of disappointing. The Miracle on 34th Street fight between Orton and Otunga basically was ridiculous. The ring was decorated like Christmas Eve with big giant Christmas presents and Christmas trees all around the ring, whatever. Otunga was thrown into every Christmas tree in the building. That was basically the thing. Michael Cole had cookies at the announce table. Orton stopped to eat one and say that they were all right, and then beat Otunga with the tray. There was even an appearance by a candy cane kendo stick from under the ring. Barrett tried to jump Orton. He left before he got the job done. Orton, bulks himself up, hits the RKO, and gets the win, which is really, really good. This is one of those things where somebody's going to turn around and say, oh, Orton, you know, he might have sold somebody on Raw, but he totally buried somebody on SmackDown. Well, it's fucking David Otunga. Jesus freaking Christ. Yeah, Otunga needs to just leave, like, far, far away. He's a lawyer, he's sitting there in his bow tie, and he's taking up space on my TV, and I don't like it. We had a recap of the Daniel Bryan failed Money in the Bank cash-in, and then we had the All I Want for Christmas Battle Royal, which was a 20-man Battle Royal, and the winner could ask Santa for anything they wanted for Christmas. It was 19 jobbers and Sheamus. That's it. Once it got down to about 5 guys or so, there was a really cool spot in this match where Sheamus brawled to the outside with one of the guys, and the commentators, as they do, made sure to tell us that neither one of them were eliminated because they went through the middle ropes and all that. But proving that they all know that Sheamus is the biggest threat, they all file out of the ring and put a beat down on Sheamus outside the ring. It was a neat little spot. It was too bad they wasted it in a lame gimmick match on SmackDown. I would love to see a spot like this in the Royal Rumble, where somebody massive, like the Big Show or Kane or whatever, is coming down the ramp, and everybody in the ring knows that they're a threat, so they file out of the ring and beat them down before they could even get in the ring. A spot like this needs to be used in a serious match. Does that make sense? You might agree, you might not agree. Box is down there for a reason. I just thought that a wicked little spot here was wasted in what eventually ended up being a silly match. While Sheamus was healing on the outside, the guys that were still in the ring were like, hey, Hornswaggle's in this match. Let's make sure we eliminate Hornswaggle. So they put a beat down on Hornswaggle. That's always awesome. Sheamus comes in, saves Hornswaggle. They're standing on the apron of the ring, Sheamus and Hornswaggle. Sheamus tries to convince Hornswaggle to just leave so he doesn't have to beat him up. Hornswaggle pushes him off the apron and wins. Oh yes, Hornswaggle, of course, won the All I Want for Christmas Battle Royal. That's WWE. If it was a regular Battle Royal on a regular show, I would be pissed. But it's a Christmas special, hosted by Mick Foley. There's going to be silliness. We come back from the break, and Santa asks Hornswaggle what he wants for Christmas, and he just sits there and he grunts and groans and roars and does what he does. Sheamus comes along and translates for him, and he says, for Christmas, Hornswaggle really wants to be able to speak, to be heard and whatever. Santa gives Hornswaggle a hug, and all of a sudden he can talk. He's running around, tree, present, he points at Vicky Guerrero and he says, Grandma, and I marked out for that because that was fucking brilliant, because Vicky Guerrero is super sketchy. So that was awesome, and now Hornswaggle can talk, and is our WWE watching life going to get so much better now that Hornswaggle can talk? I don't think so, but it's fun, it's funny, it's Christmassy, even though Christmas is a month away. And that's the kind of segment it was. Now we have Henry and Bryan in the cage for the World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, yes we do. And it is exactly what everybody thought it was going to be. It was going to be Bryan working over Henry's ankle, and Bryan working over Mark Henry's ankle, and Mark Henry working over Bryan's everything. Let's be honest. He pounded the living shit out of Bryan until Bryan got a hold of his ankle. I haven't seen him use it before, but I'm not surprised that he used it. Locks on the, Shamrock Kurt Angle style ankle lock on Henry at one point, convincingly, considering, Mark Henry's twice his size. We have a little bit of high spot at the end, with Daniel Bryan trying to get out of the cage and Mark Henry following him and whatever. Doesn't get out of the cage because Mark Henry still got him by one arm. Eventually pulls him back into the cage, super world's strongest slam from the second rope, and Mark Henry gets the win. Now, this is not a bad thing, and I'm going to tell you why in my scores, fails, and MVPs for the SmackDown Live festive special. Scores, fails, and MVPs. All the fun stuff tonight was a score. Jolly old Saint Mick, Mick Foley as Santa Claus. You can't get... As far as fun WWE stuff, you don't get much better than that. It's just true. in the back at the party, you had, we had more Piper, which was awesome. You had Dusty Rhodes there, which was awesome. You had Goldust, who apparently is still under contract, but I haven't seen him in the ring ever. And it was just, it's one of those things, you pop for, you pop for the veterans, you pop for the legends, and that's all it's meant to be, and that's all it is, and it works. It's simple. Like I say again, Tyson Kidd being on Smackdown, not just being on Superstars, big, big thing for me. No, it's not just because I'm Canadian, but yes, that is a part of it. Tyson Kidd is an awesome wrestler. He got rid of the little crown spiky thing that he had, and he's actually growing himself an adult head of hair now, which is nice. And it was good to see him. If he had won, I would have been a lot happier, but that's how it goes. Hornswaggle. Hornswaggle is comical value in the WWE, and if he's only being used as that, he's very, very good for that role. Now, there is a rumor that WWE has gone down to Mexico and looked into finding another miniature wrestler for Hornswoggle to have an actual rivalry with at one point. And if that happens, I will mark out hard, because I've been watching WWE for a long time. I remember the days of Max Mini and Nova, and those were fun times. So if we have it again, then that's good. In the win category, Rhodes and Booker T got canceled. Now, I was excited about this match. I still am excited about the idea of this match. This match needs to happen on a pay-per-view. This match is going to be the match that breaks Cody, along with his matches with Orton, along with his matches against, if he ever has a series of matches against John Cena. A match with Booker T will be one of those matches that pushes Rhodes into the main event caliber. And it needs to happen on a pay-per-view. As much as, the shows are important, Raw is important, SmackDown is important, because they push us towards the pay-per-views, that match needs to be saved for pay-per-view, and I'm glad that they announced it tonight, got people excited about the idea, but I'm glad it's going to be saved for a pay-per-view, because that will be so much better. Fail. Anytime there's a holiday, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's Halloween, whatever, we don't have any women's wrestling. We don't have any women's wrestling in the WWE at all, really. But we have a shitty gimmick battle royal for the divas. And it's always the same. Okay, I gave a big win to the Kidd versus Kofi Kingston match because I got to see Tyson Kidd. I'm going to give a fail because Kofi's getting tossed in some random-ass matches to fill time until Evan Bourne's back from his suspension, if that ever happens. What can I say about this? It's gotten to the point now where, because Air Boom are a team, Kofi Kingston on his own looks really, really awkward. Kofi Kingston on his own as a singles wrestler is almost instantly lost in the shuffle if Evan Bourne's not there, especially when they keep announcing him as... Obviously, they're going to announce them as one half of the tag team champions, but eventually that becomes a bad thing because it's like, okay, we haven't seen the tag team championships defended in, like a month and a half. So, they really have to be careful with how they use Cody Rhodes right now. Fail. Last fail of the night. Henry and Bryan World Heavyweight Championship match in a cage. That's 3 layers of awesome. Why did it happen on SmackDown? Why did it happen on a lame, festive-themed SmackDown? This match should happen on a pay-per-view as well. It should be like the Booker T and Rhodes thing. It shouldn't have been. I know they were trying to push that it was a special SmackDown and it was live, and it's always a big deal when SmackDown's live because it means no spoilers and this and that and the next thing. This match was wasted. This match was not given enough time. This match was interrupted by a commercial break 1 minute in, which is always horrible. Makes me feel like I'm watching TNA Impact. I went there. But it was a 12-minute match for the World Heavyweight Championship match. And, that's not good, is it? And it was on SmackDown. And it was it could have been Daniel Bryan's big moment. I would rather Bryan get his big moment at a pay-per-view, obviously. I would rather Bryan have his big moment against somebody other than Mark Henry, to be perfectly honest with you. I would rather, as much as I'm a fan of people like Orton, I would love to see him have his big moment defeating Orton. If it was possible, the only championship match that I would really want to see Bryan in would be Bryan versus CM Punk. But the way WWE's set up right now, that ain't gonna happen. So we gotta settle with Bryan and Henry, and it's gonna happen at a pay-per-view eventually, and we're gonna have to live with that. it's sort of going to go stale because Mark Henry and Big Show are going to fight at TLC, probably in a chairs match, and it's going to be horrible. Yes, it is. Oh, yes. MVP for the night has got to be Tyson Kidd. Real breakout performance against Kofi Kingston tonight. And with that, I am done at 35 minutes. Dear Jesus, if you are still listening, you are all awesome. Guys, 104 subs in. Cheers to all of you. I've been Spaz. Subscribe up there, talk down there, leave a comment, let me know what you think, start a conversation, and I will talk to every single one of you guys later. Bye.